I'm Jordan Banderas, also known as the Bad Influence, and I'm so excited to have you here listening to another episode of the Bad Influence podcast. But before we get started, if you guys could do me a favor, and that is to subscribe or follow so you guys don't miss out on any episodes, I will greatly appreciate it. So let's get started, shall we? Now, the other day, I had a few hours of free time, which barely happened, so I was bored. There was nothing on TV that I wanted to watch, and I decided to do what people do nowadays, which is mindlessly scroll on Facebook. I was just scrolling down the feed and everything. I was literally bored. There was nothing. I couldn't find anything that will catch my attention. So all of a sudden, while I was scrolling on Facebook, I found this post that was attacking and tearing A$AP Rocky apart. On the post, it shows that A$AP Rocky and Rihanna are featured on the cover of this month's Vogue magazine. But what this person was saying is that A$AP has gone soft because of Rihanna, and that she changed him from a man into a boy. So I got interested. Now, this particular post had thousands of comments. So what I did, I started reading some of the comments. And on the comments, again, people were tearing him apart. They were calling him soft, a Sam. They were sharing pictures of him where from back on the day when he was carrying guns, he was pointing guns straight at the camera, he was throwing gang signs. And then they were comparing those pictures with his current pictures with Rihanna. And as you can tell, or as you can see, they were tearing him apart. Like they were destroying him. One of the reasons why they were destroying him is because on the cover of Vogue, Rihanna is leading the way in the photo while holding hands with A$AP, who's trailing behind her. Now, on the cover, A$AP is holding their baby. He's actually kissing the baby's forehead. So I don't see any problems with that, in my opinion. I was like, that doesn't seem or look bad to me. I don't know why people are tearing him apart. But anyway, I just kept reading the comments. People kept tearing him apart, calling him names, saying that he's a bad example to men and everything. But there was one comment that actually caught my attention, and I was like, holy shit, this dude has a point. And I'm going to read exactly what he said because I think it's a very good topic to talk about on today's episode. He said, I wasn't going to post about that Vogue cover with A$AP and Rihanna. That's why I'm a bit late to the party. But here's the thing. For men, what are we supposed to do? We have to be tough enough to survive in our environment with all its trauma, but when we finally find love and start our own families, some people call us soft. I don't see it that way. I see a woman helping to guide a man away from a path of destruction, and let me tell you, there's a big difference there. Having a family is one of the best things that can happen to a man. When I read that, I was like, holy shit. It's so true what this guy is saying. But here's the thing. This is my opinion about this. I don't think this applies to just certain guys out there or certain men. I think it applies to everybody that had to toughen up and be cold-blooded just to survive in their environment. And anybody that has done that can relate to this. I can relate to this because that's pretty much what my wife did. She literally did what Rihanna is doing to A$AP. She got me out of a bad situation. She got me out of a shitty situation that I was living on. She literally changed everything, or she helped me see that why I needed to change. So when I read this comment, it hit home. I was like, whoa, I'm going to talk about this on the podcast. I think it's very important to point this out because the way that my wife did this, besides helping me change my mindset, the way that I talk, the way that I dress, and even the way I interact with others, she did in such a loving way that people say that she got the cholo out of me. And I honestly think that she did, because she did using her love language. And it turns out that's the love language that I was missing out throughout my entire life. That's one of the things that people don't understand when they see that I have changed. Even my family doesn't understand that. So one of the things that my wife did is that she didn't change me to feel good about herself. She changed me, or she helped me change, so I could see that I can create and become better for me, not for anybody else. She did because she wanted to show me a better way of life and prove to me that I could become a better person. Someone who could create something out of nothing, so I could take care of myself and obviously my family as well. Now, one of the ways that my wife did this, and I want to share this because if you have a partner that is trying to help you become a better person, it's very important to let them. Because at the beginning, I wasn't letting my wife do that. But she gently nudged me into becoming the person I knew I always wanted to be deep down. Now, I never felt that I could become a better person in my life because I didn't have the right situations when it came to my environment. I wasn't in the right environment, and I didn't have the self-esteem to think that I deserve better in life. And that's why a lot of people are going through right now. They don't have the self-esteem to say, you know what? I deserve something better. I deserve to create something for me and my family. I deserve to make myself better. Because we don't have that self-esteem. And the reason why I didn't have that self-esteem is because back in the day, before I met my wife, I used to wear the baggiest clothes. Like, I was a total cholo. I mean, we're talking extra large shirts and pants that were 4 sizes too big for me. I was wearing size 36 when I wear size 32. But after we got married, my wife straight up asked me, out of nowhere, if I'd ever consider wearing clothes that will fit me right. When she said that, at first I was like, oh, here we go again. Because many girls and even my family tried to change me over the years. They were like, oh, you need to change. You need to look better. You're embarrassing me. You're this, you're that. But my wife didn't do that though. So those people that tried to change me before my wife, I was like, fuck no, I'm not changing. If you love me or if you want to be in my life, you have to accept me for who I am and what I bring to the table, which was nothing back then. I'm gonna be honest. And my family rode my ass for years in order for me to change my clothes or how I acted and everything about me. But I was like, fuck no, I'm not changing. Because the times that I tried to change, to act better, dress better, they will make fun of me. And because of the environment that I was living, I felt like dressing better, not all cholo or anything like that, was making me look weak. And when you hang around with certain people, if you look weak, people are gonna take advantage of you. You're gonna be like, oh hell no, I'm like a little fish in a ocean full of sharks. And you don't want to look weak when that happens, when you're hanging out with fucking drug dealers and gang members or anything like that, because they're going to take advantage of you. So I had to toughen up and be cold-blooded. Now, one of the things that happened in this situation after I got married was that when Katie kept asking me about changing my clothes or anything like that, I was like, no. I always say no. I was like, fuck no. I'm not going to change, whatever. But I thought she got the point when I kept saying no. But I was so wrong about that. Because one day I was like, you know what? I need a new pair of pants. I want to go to Buckle, this store that sells the pants that I like. They're usually $200. And yes, I was wearing $200 pants that were too big for me. But whatever, I used to dress like that. So I was like, you know what, Katie, I want to get new pants. She's like, okay, let's go get you new pants. Let's go to Buckle. She took me to the store. And when we got there, I went straight to the size 36. I was like, you know what? I know what I wear. I know that I don't have to try them on. And I'm just going to find the right pair that I like. While I was doing that, my wife was looking at pants as well. But the pants that were my right size. I saw her and I was like, whatever. I'm not going to wear them. Like, you already asked me, I said no. And if you ask me again, my answer is going to be no. So I just kept looking at the pants that I liked, size 36. And all of a sudden, she comes over and asks me, hey, would you try this size of pants to see how it looks on you? Now, my answer was like, hell no. I was like, hell no. And I mean, hell no. I was like, hell no. I'm not going to wear that. I don't know if it's going to fit. I don't know if it's going to look good or anything like that. But, and this is what's funny, Katie's good. She's like a Jedi. She used logic against me. She said, well, since it's been so long since you wore the right size of pants, why don't you try it and see how it looks on you now? It may look good on you now. You never know. You may actually like it. When she said that, I was like, because nobody had ever approached it that way. So I was like, she has a fucking point. I don't know how, but she made a good point. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to try them on. Just this time to see if I like it. But I can guarantee you that I'm not going to like it. And if I don't like it, never ask me again this, okay? She's like, okay, bet. Let's do it. So I go into the fitting room. My wife is like, I want to go in with you. I'm like, okay, come in. They let her come in with me. And I start trying them on. And here's the thing. This is one of the things that she did. And if you're trying to help your partner change the way that he acts or dresses, this is very important, because the way that my wife did it, she did it in such a calming way. She started hyping me up so fucking bad. She made me feel like I was a model ready to walk the runway, because she was like, oh my gosh, they look so good on you. Oh my gosh, you have a big package. Oh my gosh, your legs look so good. So because she was saying all of these things, I was looking at myself in the mirror and I was like, you know what? I do look good. I do have a big package. Oh my gosh, my legs look so good. Like, I feel good. And then she goes, why don't you try a shirt that is your size? I was like, okay. So I tried the shirts and I liked them. I was like, you know what? I like this. Fuck dressing like a cholo. I like this. It gave me confidence. It gave me so much confidence that it actually helped me change my entire wardrobe. I changed my entire wardrobe after that interaction with my wife in the fitting room. And here's the part about this that I want to share as well, because if you help your partner change, people are going to notice. Like in my case, people started to notice, and girls started hitting on me. They were like, "Oh my gosh, you look so good. You look great. Like, oh my gosh, well, let's get to know each other. Like, oh my gosh, you know." Even though I had my wedding ring, they were hitting on me. I was like, thank you. I had to tell my wife, hey, girls are hitting on me. And she's like, oh, okay, that's fine. So when girls started saying, hey, you look good, you know how to dress, you dress so well, like, oh my gosh, you look like $1,000,000. I was like, yeah, it's all thanks to my wife, because she helps me dress. And I'm not ashamed of saying that. So if your partner, your wife, your spouse, whoever, helps you become a better version of yourself, don't be ashamed to give them credit. That doesn't make you less of a man. That just shows that you trust that person. And if somebody's hitting on you, like it happened in my case, they're going to realize that you care about that person and that you don't care about anybody else, because you're literally saying that, hey, I have become this thanks to my wife or my partner, whoever, just like I did. And after I started saying that, the girls that were hitting on me, they kind of backed away. They were like, oh my gosh, he's married. And I'm like, yes, I'm fucking married. So don't hit on me, please. Even though it feels good to be noticed when you change, you have to be very level-headed, because sometimes it can go all the way to your head. Your ego is like, oh my gosh, I look so good. And then you do something stupid like, leaving your partner or anything like that. I have seen that. But anyway, the thing about Katie, in my case, and I think this is what's happening with A$AP Rocky and Rihanna as well, is that my wife didn't stop at just me getting clothes that will fit me right. She actually helped me see what else I needed to change in order for me to become the best version of myself. She even talked me into getting contacts. The reason why I never wore contacts before is because my own family said this. They said, if you wear contacts and you get in a fight, the contact will break and then it will cut your eye and you will go blind. Because I used to get in a lot of fights before. So I was like, well, they may be right. I don't know anything about contacts, so I'm not going to wear contacts. That's pretty much what I did. But my wife convinced me to wear them. And she's like, the contact is soft. It's not going to fucking break and cut your eye. And I was like, well, okay, she has a point again, So now I know what it means when people say that love makes you soft. And when people say that to me, because I've been attacked just like A$AP as well, they're like, by old friends that say like, you have changed, you're soft, you're not the same person that I knew before. And I say, that's right, I'm not the same person. I evolve into a better person. I have become a better person. Because what happens is that love shows you what you need to change, because you don't need to live that hardened life anymore. That's what love showed me. And it also shows you what's important to you as well. In this case, your family, your kids, your anything. So you have to change in order for you to protect them. Because if you still have that street mentality where it's like somebody disrespects me or anything like that, I'm going to shoot them, I'm going to beat the shit out of them, I'm going to kill them or something like that, what's going to happen? You end up in jail or killed, and then what happens with your family? You're not going to be there to protect them. That's what love shows you. That's what love showed me, that I needed to calm down just a little bit in order for me to be there for my wife and be able to take care of her and protect her. Because when you have the right person and you need the right person that will show you why you need to change, once that person shows you what you can become, you will change because of that love that person show you, and that will help you create this self-love for yourself and for the other person as well. That's one of the things that love does, and it did for me. So if you're lucky enough to have the right person by your side, and this is someone who can guide you to a better life, then all that growth that you will have to do will be worth it. It will be worth it. Because not only you can end up finding yourself, but you also get to heal those emotional wounds from your past. Because you want to love that person. You want to be able to show them the same love that they're giving you. And in order for you to do that, you have to heal those wounds that are bleeding, and that are bleeding on the person you love. That's why I had to do. That's why I went to therapy. That's why I have been working on myself pretty much for the last 6 years. Yeah, 6 years. For the last 6 years, I've been doing this. Because when you come from a messed up situation, from a messed up background, it's hard to let your guard down and let someone else in. So when you have those wounds, those emotional wounds, they will bleed to whoever, against whoever is next to you. They're just going to bleed. And the other person may get tired of it. So you have to heal those wounds. And I can tell you this, when you do that, it will be life-changing. When you find the right person who just wants to help you become the best version of yourself. But then I also can tell you that it's not easy, but it's worth it to face your demons and come out on the other side victorious, because you have tamed those demons. You have controlled those demons. You have said to those fucking demons, hey motherfuckers, I'm here. I control my life. I don't care who you are. I don't care the damage that you have caused. Now I'm taking control of my life, and I'm going to live my life the way that I want to. That's what you do. And it's not easy. It's going to take time. And it's going to take for someone to support you. Like in my case, I let my wife's love change me for the better. And because I know how hard it was for me and how hard it is for other people, I don't think we should attack men that decide to change because of love. I believe we should celebrate them. Because it takes courage to do that. It takes guts to do that. But honestly, the most challenging part is trusting your partner. Like really trusting that they only want good things for you. That they're not going to leave you hanging at one point or another. That they're going to literally stick around and be there for you when you're going through all these changes, and that they're not going to judge you or make you feel bad about changing. That's hard. That's hard. So if you find the right partner or the perfect partner who wants nothing but the best for you, let them help you. Cherish them, because not a lot of people are willing to do that. Let them help you become the best version of yourself, the person that you're meant to be on the inside. Let them do that. Let them help you change your mindset, the way that you talk, the way that you interact with others, the way that you dress. That's pretty much what my wife did. And to those who say love makes you weak, I say this. Love doesn't make you weak or soft. In my experience, I feel that love awakens the warrior within you, the one who's ready to transform you into the man you're meant to be. It doesn't make you soft. It doesn't make you weak. It actually makes you better. It's like Jordan B. Peterson says, you should become a monster. And when you come from a street background, from a fucked up situation, you're already a monster. You're angry, you're aggressive, you don't take bullshit, you're ready to fight, to kill. So you're already a monster. But also Jordan B. Peterson says that you have to have that monster under voluntary control. And that's what love does. It helps you control that monster and become a better person, and still use that monster when it's needed, when you have to protect that person that you love. That's when you use it. And that's pretty much what I wanted to share on today's episode. Thank you for listening. Thank you for the growth and the feedback. Remember to share, like, and subscribe. We are on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. The link is in the episode's description, and here are my final thoughts. True love will let you see life from a different perspective that a few people can understand. But that doesn't matter, because you need to live your life how you want. And have a great day.